want to start with an amazing story about a monk in a village. And there was a story. One of the girls in the woman in the village got pregnant. Teenage girl. She got pregnant, and she told her parents and everyone that the father is the monk. And when the parents came and confronted the monk about it, he said, "Is that so?" So the master responds to bad news and good news is exactly the same way. Is that so? He allows the form of the moment, good or bad, to be as it is, and so does not become a participant in human drama. That is amazing for me. Like, this was one of the strongest stories that I read in the book. Everything that happened to this monk, always, like, if even if it was good or bad, he always replied with the same answer. Is that so? Now, Eckhart Tolle, I have to say, in some interviews, also mentioned this story and said, you don't have to say, is that so? This is really high level spiritual practice, but you can say this is not true, and that's it. Don't add any negativity or something. Probably you understood what is that so?
No,
Okay, is that so? How do I translate? Is that so? It's not exactly a question,
is not
Fabio. It's not a
affirmation.
question. It's like a really, like
Exactly.
exactly. Really? Okay. That's like if you come to a person and tell him, you are this, you are X, you are Y, you are Z, and he tells you, really? Okay. He doesn't react to the drama, to the madness. So you ask me what I think about it. I truly, to be honest, I think I'm not there. Okay. If somebody or something happens to me, I will say, no, that's not true. And that's it. I will stop talking. I will not continue. I would not say you're a liar. Why do you say that? You all liars, blah, blah, blah. I would not. I would just like, it's not true. And actually, it happened to me with my ex-girlfriend. There was a beautiful quote that I saw, and I asked her what it is because I didn't understand the language. And she translated the quote, and then said, that's beautiful. That's like it's talking about like um X and Y, and then she told me, why do you always why it's so difficult for you, da 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 da. And it was really like out of the blue, like something like not relevant, and I couldn't understand how did she thought about it. But I just said, no, it's not true. No, it's not true. I just wrote, it's not true. I didn't say, why you always
Yeah.
giving me this kind of comments and why did. But I was just like, because of this story, I was like, very, no, it's not true. He's taking this to an extra, to another level when he said, is that so? Like a dojo. Really? Okay. Like, I don't care. I don't
But
care.
you should be careful to use this,
What do you mean?
because you can use also with your ego.
So when a person talks with you about religion, about history, maybe biased history or opinions, you can. Is that so? Okay.
I think this is spiritual ego. Comes from ego.
Why?
Because you feel more uplift
I
and
got you.
you want
I got you. Like you
you
think
are
you are
not
better.
curious. You are not curious about
Oof.
to the sentence.
I got you.
You
You're not
understand?
really curious, but you're a bit judging given. Is that really? Okay.
Say,
Like
okay,
you,
it's normal things.
I got what
You
you're saying.
understand?
Like I I can I agree. I agree. Sometimes people come with me, racist, or saying stuff that are racist, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you about it. Maybe it's a little bit ego, because I think that I know more, or I think these opinions I don't want to be related to, I don't want to be near them. But no, I don't want to argue, Fabio. I don't want to even to say. Sometimes I do When I feel the other person is conscious, I don't think you can conscience and have these kind of opinions, but I will not argue with a person that is unconscious, because then I will become unconscious. So when a person come to me and tells me crazy opinions, conspiracy theories, racist stuff, I don't have, no, I don't argue, because I know, and it happened before. When I argue, I become unconscious.
Yeah.
I become angry. I suffer. No, I don't want to suffer. This is maybe these opinions that you have, you need to have them, because you will suffer from them. Okay, somewhere on the way, you will suffer. I believe, maybe because I feel you're not conscious enough. When you're not conscious and you see people as identities, like he's X is Y, and it's easier for you to hurt them.
Yeah.
You're not conscious. So if I can, from all this conversation, is also a great tip: do not argue with a person who is unconscious. Do not.
How to understand if the person is unconscious?
When he's really identified with his opinions, with his thoughts. When he tells you this is the truth, I know it for sure. I know. Even now when I'm talking about Eckhart Tolle, I would never say I say, this is what I believe right now, okay? Maybe I'm wrong. I can easily trash many stuff that I think or believe. I am not attached to anything. For example, my father, which again I truly love him, okay? But when I talk to him and he comes with his political views or whatever, I stopped arguing with him. I don't argue. I just listen. Because every time that I argued, I become unconscious. And we just like
You
and
never win.
I never, and they never listen. They
Yeah.
don't want to listen. I'm open to listen, but they never want to listen. They just like, I have this opinion and I have to share it, and this is my ego, this is my identity, and I want to present. It's like a survivor. It really want to survive. Like my mother is the complete opposite. She doesn't care about politics. She doesn't care to say bad stuff about this person or bad stuff about that person. She doesn't care. My father, he cannot say bad stuff about a certain person. He cannot criticize him. Like, he really got, how do you say, identified somehow. But it's just unconscious. And, sometimes when I'm really quiet and I don't judge and I don't argue and I just listen, suddenly sometimes I feel there is some awakening or awareness in my father. For example, he's mumbling and he's talking about this conspiracy theory or whatever, and suddenly I'm just quiet and I listen, and then suddenly he
You don't
said,
like
and then suddenly, but just very important, and then he said, "Oh, maybe I'm wrong." What did you want to say, Fabio?
You don't like the conspiracy
I
theory.
cannot.
Why?
I cannot. Because that's a good question. Because most of the conspiracy theories, I think, like, this is from my experience, okay? I did some research about it. Most of them, always there is a bad in all these conspiracy theories. And who is usually the bad guy? Fabio?
Oh,
Who is the bad guy? There's always in conspiracy theories, there is some group, some people who are bad, and they have all the power, and they
the
control
society.
the society. So if you ask people, I was surprised, they will tell you the Jews. So I never thought about it. I didn't know what is conspiracy theory is until a few years, like I really got into it a few years ago when I visited actually Bulgaria. Then I was like, what's going on? Because I talked with young people, students, like really nice people, like people that I want to talk to, I want to maybe travel, and then they come to me with these conspiracy theories, and every time they have something else about the COVID, okay, about earthquakes, about all this kind of stuff in the history, and they always come to the same enemy, and they call it the Zionist, or I don't know, the Jews. And I'm like, what? Like for me, it's like out of the blue, and it goes back to a famous book horrible book from Russia. I think it's a few hundred years ago, and it's like a blood label about the Jews, and like he said not blood label. He said, what did he said? There is a group of Jews, yeah, that control the whole world, and everything that happens is okay. I'm repeating this
Yeah.
conspiracy theory, and I'm doing like a also evil for that, but it is what it is. You can believe whatever you want. I didn't argue with them. I was actually I was into Eckhart Tolle back then also, and I was like I just like wow. I was like okay, I'm not going to argue because it's unconscious. I just had a problem, living in a world where all the problems, you become a victim, and all your problems, you blame somebody. It's like I can grow, and I did in the past, blaming my parents a lot for issues that I have. This does not help. How can you grow and work and have a prosperity, right?
Yeah.
When you always think that you're a victim and always somebody's, taken from you. This is okay, you can do that, but when you blame, you will have this reality, okay? And people will use you. When you think people using you, you will encounter that. This will be your reality.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why I don't like conspiracy theories.
But I think it's so huge word. It's not only about who controls the world. It's about also the human really gone in the moon. There is also here, and I think sometimes it's good to read to hear the person, because there is something strong in this. Not all,
Mm-hmm.
because if normally the information, when you
Yeah.
give information, there is a little bit true and another things not true. For you can't give lie all information, because it's bullshit if it's all a lie. There is something true in all the information.
Also in the conspiracy theories?
Yes,
I
maybe
tell
it's
you
not
what.
Hebrew.
Hebrew, yeah, what?
Maybe it's not this. Maybe it's another religion. Okay.
What do you mean, Fabio?
I mean, who control the world?
Yeah, but even like I don't like this kind of theory. You know what? It's not the Hebrews, it's not the Jews, it's not the Zionists, whatever. It's just a group that control. You believe that, Fabio?
Yes,
You do believe
I
there is?
believe. I believe there is a elite can control this, the rule of society. Who build the society? The society.
What do you mean by building a society?
Who build the rule about you should do this, this, this. You should vaccinate. You should do this.
For example, let's take the vaccination. Actually, I'm a bit conscious. I'm not mad and I'm not angry. When I talk to you, I'm really peaceful, and I do agree. There is some theories that are correct. If you come with facts and you come with knowledge, I'm very open to listen and to read and to hear. But when you just throw something in the air, I don't like it. For example, with COVID, let's talk about COVID.
Yeah.
People, when I was in Bulgaria, people told me also Bill Gates is one of them. Bill Gates want everybody to be vaccinated because he wants to put some virus in everyone, something like that. And I'm like, because he wants to create some medicine to earn more money. I don't know. And I'm like, okay, I'm repeating this kind of conspiracy theories. I don't want to do that. I'm just saying there is of course there is an influence of rich and powerful people in every country. Yes, there is, and there is corruption and there is problems for sure. But I don't like this kind of like general assumption that all of COVID was created by some small group, rich people that wanted to earn money on vaccination. No, I don't want to. I don't want to live in a world when I feel like all the leaders in the world are corrupted and everybody of them wants to harm and to earn money from this. Like, why should the Chancellor of Germany, for example, and Biden, I don't know, like, why? Okay, so many people will say, of course. What do you mean, why? They want money. Okay, I choose, I don't see it. I don't think so.
I don't think they want money.
What do they want, Fabio?
Your freedom. Because if I'm not vaccinated, I can't go in the supermarket to buy. So if I don't have a protection in my nose, I can't go inside the supermarket.
Yeah, but one second. You talked about the freedom. They want your freedom.
Yeah.
Germany, yeah, one of the most liberal countries in the world, yeah. They want your freedom specifically now. They choose to take your freedom because of this great virus that nobody really knows what it is, and people dying from it. And now that they also say, okay, you want to buy, but you have to do some rules. Fabio, you don't have a real. You live in a society. There is no like real freedom. You want a real freedom, you go to Canada, or you go to some. I mean, like Canada, the forest in Canada, or somewhere far away. When you're in the jungle, there is freedom for you. But also in the jungle, there is rules. You know, there's also rules there. You know what not to do. I'm not going to go to this lake in this certain time because there is lions and there's whatever there is there. Okay. I'm not going to do that because I know it's very dangerous. I'm not going to pee. By the way, this is a good tip. I'm not going to pee at night next to my bed because I know termites and all these kind of animals will come, and all this kind of stuff. You have rules. Oh, you're not completely free. Now I know this was really hard for you, this COVID stuff, and you didn't get vaccinated, by the way, Fabio. So in the end, you had some freedom to choose. No, and I know also friends of mine did not get vaccinated because they chose not to, which I completely respect, and I think maybe they were right even. I don't know, but the issue is that I don't believe all the leaders just wanted to control the free. No, I read so many verdicts and so many issues from for example from Germany and their courts, and I see a beautiful work about protecting the specific, the one individual rights. Oh my God, Fabio, you know how many freedom, how many rights they give to their citizens, for example? Too much, too much. I'm really actually
No,
I'm
I'm curious about your what you think about this. I'm yeah, I appreciate what you said.
Yes, Fabio, it's so strange. With you, I'm calm, but there is like a little bit of stream
Yeah.
I feel it in my chest on the left side. I feel some strong emotions there, like maybe a little bit anger.
Yeah.
I sense it like a pressure or something, but I don't want to be there. Like I'm open to every opinion, everything. If it's like based, and if you come with with conscience, with I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to continue this issue, but
But this is normal. All person, if you search in Google, we have mm, the person has a lot of money and the person don't have a lot of money. The person can control the bank. The person can't control their dog. Depends.
it's so strange. Because you're right. The man with the person with a lot of money can really have a lot of effect. It's true. But you know what? When we go to the elections, everybody has the same vote. And you can choose, you can do your research, you can read your theories online, you can choose really who to vote for. But in the end, you choose. You and the rich person in the world, let's say Elon Musk, has the same vote. This is amazing. This is wonderful. This was never like this in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
Now you can really choose. But people will say, no, I cannot. You can, okay? You have the choice. And you chose to vote for X or to vote for Y. It was your choice, okay? And I truly, I don't, I think we are like really, like, I don't know, like, I know this world is huge. We don't know, like, I think 90% of the things we don't know. 99%, we don't
Yes.
know. The universe is so huge. We don't know what is there out there. So people coming up with these conspiracy theories, and I tell you what, they come up with these conspiracy theories just because they want some certainty,
Yeah.
because they want to control, they want to know what's going on. But this is one of the basic things that Eckhart Tolle also talking about. You don't have a control. You don't really have a control about everything. Some things just happen, and you cannot explain them. And I would say there is some stories and issues from the past that the government issued, and they are lies. I'm aware of it. For example, the UFO in the US in the 60s, I think, or something. I don't remember. But all of this kind of this I know. This we know. There is some lies that out there. But the overall experience that we all live in a lie, and all this are controlled by with a few people that just want to harm us and earn more money. Like, no. Like the human consciousness, the human, like, natural base is not to, I don't believe it's to harm. Okay, to earn money, but even for us, Fabio, when we go to the market, like, you can say, okay, we have the money, we have everything, we just want to earn more, we just, but sometimes we are very flexible, because we pay more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my point is, like, if somebody is in hurt in the street, and it's painful,
Yeah.
we will help him, Usually you want to help, you don't want to harm. You don't go into the world and just harm. And there are some unconscious people, but the majority is good.
But yes, because I think the human being is pacific animal.
What do you mean
The
Pacific?
nature,
Passive?
no, peaceful, peaceful,
Peaceful.
peaceful animal. The nature of a human
Yeah,
being
exactly.
is peaceful. Want peaceful.
Also animals, I think. Like,
It's normal because if you are not peaceful, you lose energy.
exactly.
I understand.
That is a good one. I think
Also, for example, if you see gorilla,
Mhm.
gorilla is peaceful, but the human being think is dangerous.
I think all the animals are pretty much peaceful. Look at dogs.
Yeah,
They sleep the whole day,
yeah,
Cats, just so peaceful. Birds, when they need to eat, they are more aggressive, okay? When they need to protect themselves, they are more. But if there is no need, for example, there is a very beautiful video of lions and all these kind of animals that eats together a big elephant that died.
yeah.
They don't care about each other, They just eat, and everybody eats together, although they are enemies of each other. They eat because there is no need to be mean or to be aggressive right now. There is enough for everyone. I think we become so greedy, and the ego grew bigger and bigger. Then this is where the problem is. But
But when grow bigger?
um, year, you asking me a year?
Yeah. In which condition?
What do you mean, in which condition?
You say the ego grow bigger in your
In my life? No.
no.
In the human life. When we, I don't know, when we become village people, city people, I don't know. No, I don't know. When we were nomads, like animals, I think you have less because you have so much space. You go from place to place. You're curious, but who knows, Fabio? This is a big question. I don't know.
For me, when we begin to want sex, to see the other person can judge you, and in puberty, I think.
No, Fabio, I don't think so. It's really interesting that you mentioned that. That was really interesting. But I tell you what, also kids have ego. They have crazy ego.
Yeah,
You take their toy, they will go insane because they see themselves as the toy. Although 10 minutes after, they will forget completely about this toy, you know?
for me, I believe you can have a ego, and the important things is you can switch your emotion instantly.
Okay, give example. How do you do that?
The child you take a toy is so angry. You give a toy, it's okay. Is happy. The human you
Same.
no
You stole a phone from somebody and then
yeah
you give him the phone back.
yeah
The state of mind changes really quickly.
no because they think why you take my toy.
So
You who you think you are to take my toy after? I don't want your now I don't want this toy.
I don't want this phone. I don't know if I would not want this phone, but I got you. Yeah,
Yeah,
grown-ups it's harder for them. No, but I also see it with the kids. You know the video from YouTube that I showed you about the candies. You know, the people, the parents came to the child and tells him, "I ate all your candies after Halloween." You know, and they cry and they're miserable. And then after 5 minutes, they gave them the candies back and they say, "I tricked you." And then the kids sometimes they say, "Why? Why did you do that? Was not nice." You know, some of them really small. They're like and they eat it and whatever. But there were some young kids who was like, "Why did you do that? This was not nice."
but because the parents don't teach the emotional intelligence with this child
What is the emotional intelligence?
to don't be
Attached?
attached with what happen in your life.
Oof, Fabio, I don't know if you can really teach this a child. This is so hard. I'm still in progress with this, you know?
Yeah,
To disattach myself from my stuff, you know? Your computer, Fabio.
yeah.
Your stuff, you know? It's not easy. So, how do you teach your child to have this intelligence, to not be attached to the stuff, which is a great lesson, by the way, but how do you do that?
To be
What do you mean?
this to be
No, Fabio,
emotional intelligent when you grow this child.
I hope I understood you well because this is exactly what Eckhart Tolle says. You don't need to do anything, just be. Be like that. Okay? When you are present, when you are disattached from stuff, this energy will go also to your surrounding. That's exactly what he says, Fabio. This is what you meant? Amazing. So I want to continue with the story. You remember we talked about this monk, right? That respond to bad news and good news in exactly the same way. Is that so? And when the village came to him and told him that he slept with this girl and got her pregnant, he said, "Is that so?" So I will continue to read from the book. To him is nobody victim. He is so completely at one with what happens that what happens has no power over him anymore. Only if you resist what happens, you are at the mercy of what happens, and the world will determine your happiness and unhappiness. I cannot say. I read these lines and I'm just like like I'm in shock. This is so good. When you resist what happens, you are in the mercy of what happens, and the world will determine your happiness and your unhappiness. This is completely true. Like for me, it's so true because for so long I let the world choose for me if I'm happy or not,
Yeah.
and 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 you will suffer because people will challenge you all the time. And sometimes you get offended or you get upset because you think people are doing it on purpose or they lie to you, when in fact they are not. For example, we are here in Kenya, Africa, Fabio. And sometimes we talk with the people that works here in this guest house or whatever. And sometimes, I'm so used to being lied to in Kenya.
Yeah.
It's true. They lied so much to Mazungu, to white people. Because I can understand it's part of the culture, bargaining, games, money, and so on. And sometimes they tell you there is, and then you think, there is a thought in my head, oh, maybe they lie. And then I'm like, no, maybe there is really. Let's come to the solution with a greater power, Let's find a solution. So, for example, you remember when one of the people here told me, I don't have the box. They took it. I was like, okay, let's search for another box.
Okay.
I was not just like, okay, give up. Let's go with the other. And then we found the box. So I like it. Is nobody victim? I don't want to be anyone victim. You know? I know it's not easy because people can mistreat you in your life, and parents can do mistakes.
Everyone can do mistakes.
Everyone does a mistakes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know a person who doesn't do mistakes, but this is how you learn. So it's so important. I don't want to be a victim, Fabio. I really don't. It's so easy. Easy
It's
to
easy.
blame.
It's easy.
Easy to blame everyone. But really, if you want to be successful in life, I really do believe that. Stop blaming. Stop being the victim. Come to the solution in peace.
Be responsible for your choice.
Absolutely.
Don't say I'm wrong because the universe wanted this. I'm wrong because I'm wrong.
Ooh, that's different.
It's different.
I'm not wrong because the universe wanted me to suffer right now. I'm wrong because I just did a mistake.
Yeah.
Wow, Fabio, but we said that every event, every encounter.
Exactly. Maybe this is the next level.
But I tell you what. Yeah, this is part of life. And maybe I was in a mistake because my heart was hardened by the universe. You wanted me to go through this. So I do believe every encounter, every event has some meaningful meaning. But you're right. I don't want to. I have responsibility. And I can choose. I know many people are suffering and many people have hardship. I understand that. And it's because of other people as well. I won't take it from anyone, really. There are countries where people living in horrible conditions, yeah, because of certain people, because of certain kings or whatever. I understand that, but you have also a choice, okay?
Yeah. Your choice is your responsible for your life.
But it's like I think like two things came to my mind. First, Jerry Seinfeld. When Jerry Seinfeld, he had a really successful TV show called Seinfeld. It's a comedy show, Fabio. You know, you don't know Seinfeld. No. Okay, so it's a comedy. It's very famous, and when he began this TV show, he said something really interesting. He said, I always make my own decision. I always make in the end my own decision because when there is a mistake, when I'm wrong, I know to blame only myself. I don't want to blame anyone else. And I thought, this is so strong. This is so strong. Oh my God, how many years I ask for advice from other people and they cannot really give you the answer because only you know everything. Okay? You can ask for directions or whatever, but I usually, when I was younger, I always ask for somebody else to choose for me. I was such a victim in this world.
Yeah.
And the other thing which is horrible. And people ask Eckhart Tolle about it. And this is a really interesting subject also to talk about. We won't talk about it so much. I don't want to, but I just raised this also thought that came to my mind. I talked about people who had hardships, and you don't want to be a victim and blame. But let's talk about the European Jews in the Holocaust, in concentration camps. They were really like victims, and people really harmed them, completely. Madness, unconsciousness. And you also have this interesting point about that. You can really like truly you are a victim, but you, instead of resisting it, you can accept it. You can be in acceptance. Oof, I'm saying now words, and this is not right, because this is a bigger subject than I'm going.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, like, there is also interesting point, and whoever wants to search for it can search for it, Eckhart Tolle Holocaust, whatever. But there is acceptance, and you can choose. You can always choose. And I will stop right here, because I feel like anything that I will say would be misunderstood, and I want to continue. I just want people to remember to try to be more, like you said, responsible. Make your own decisions in the end, and do not live in a world when you always blame. You always search for somebody who did something to you.
Yes.
If there's somebody doing something to you, harm you, you have a choice. You don't have to stay. You can walk away. You can do something else, Yeah. Fabio, am I present right now? I feel like I'm in the madness of the world, Like all these stories, all these conspiracy theories, all of this like got into me a bit, I don't want to be part of this madness. I don't want to be. I know this is madness. This is unconsciousness. Okay, I want to continue. The decision. Actually, I'm reading from chapter number 7 from the book A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Amazing chapter and amazing book. And I want to talk about being friendly with the present moment. So I read from the book. The decision to make the present moment into your friend is the end of the ego. The ego can never be in alignment with life, since its very nature compels it to ignore, resist, or devalue the now. Almost every thought you think is then concerned with the past or future. Fear, anxiety, expectation, regret, guilt, anger are the dysfunctions of the time-bound state of consciousness. Fabi, what do you think? Fear, anxiety, expectation, regret, guilt, and anger are dysfunctions. Do you think it's true, Fabio? Anger, to be angry, it's dysfunction. To feel guilt, it's dysfunction. To feel regret, to feel fear, to feel anxiety.
I think yes, is not dysfunction. Is part of the food of your negative itself.
Ego?
Yeah.
So every time that I feel fear or anxiety or anger, or even when I have expectation, it's dysfunction of my dysfunction of consciousness. Yeah. I feel there is a truth in this. I think fear is very natural emotion, okay? Anger is also, they're all natural. They're all natural. Okay, I don't take it. It's not like artificial, it's natural and it's real. But there are dysfunctions. You have many thoughts in nature to do stuff, and they're also like natural, but they're also dysfunctions. They're also crazy. For example, Fabio, you remember when this is the first thing that came to my mind, so forgive me, Fabio. But when we had this encounter with these people that robbed, okay,
Okay.
your phone, you remember?
Yeah.
what did you wanted to do afterwards? You wanted to kill them, no? You wanted to kill one of them.
Yeah.
Like in your mind, you told me one of my thoughts that came to my mind. I want to kill him.
Yeah.
This is natural, like dysfunction. It's natural feeling. Of course, you were very conscious and quiet just to be aware to tell me about one of the thoughts that came to your mind, but you were angry.
Yeah.
So this tells me this is dysfunction. This is how much the human mind, the humans can go to dysfunction. For a phone, you can kill somebody. You would not. I know who you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did I explain myself well? Also, so what it says, really become friendly with the present moment. Welcome it, no matter in what disguise it comes. And soon you will see the results. Life became friendly towards you. People become helpful. Circumstances cooperative. Circumstances cooperative, yes. I truly believe that. I truly believe that when you are open and you are kind to the world and you smile to the world will also give you smiles and good experiences. Even when with unconscious people, when they argue with you and you sense unconsciousness or even violent, you give back with a smile or you stay away, of course. But sometimes people are very angry, but you don't participate in this anger or this game, and you just like reply with kindness. For me, many times I received kindness back. And if the other person cannot give you kindness back, stay away.
Exactly. Go outside your reality. If you give kindness and the person can't give you come back kindness, go away.
Go away to where, Fabio? I go to my body. I just sense my body. What do you mean go out of your reality?
In your space. I mean, if he's in the room,
Go out.
yeah,
Go out of the situation.
yeah,
Yes. So, yes, I think this was a great talk, Fabio. How do you feel now? I don't want to continue to read more quotes because I think
yeah,
this was how do you feel now? I feel a bit like usually we do this episode and it feels so peaceful afterwards and I feel so kind. And now I'm thinking about what I said in this episode and all
yeah.
this kind of stuff and I'm like a bit, yeah, it's so funny how much like little things can disturb my peace. I'm not so I'm in peace right now, but I'm not as peaceful as I am usually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. How do you feel?
For me, it's okay. It's about you. Why you think you change so much?
I didn't change so much, but why? Because this kind of like conspiracy theories or this I think it's connecting to my ego also. Because I was born Jewish, Israeli,
Yeah.
okay? And these conspiracy theories touch in some vein in me, somewhere in me.
Yes, but what is the difference if there is a elite Hebrew control this world? What is the difference about you?
There is a difference. Then people can can harm me or can hurt me or can say stuff about me just because they think some people that control the world are connected to me.
And why you are attached about this
I'm
judgment?
not attached. Actually, to be honest, I'm not. There is part of me, I guess.
But if you are not attached, you can leave this.
Exactly, and I am. Fabio, I do live this. I just talking about it. I don't. It doesn't. It's like talking about politics. I don't like it. I become unconscious. Yeah. I don't want to. Why should I talk about it? This is madness. Both sides are mad. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I have other stuff to talk about. Like, I don't want to talk about this. And I don't want to be part of this unconsciousness. the growing of the collective ego, talking about who is wrong, who is right. I don't want to be part of it. We're all mad. There's unconsciousness in the world. Okay, there's ways to treat this. Okay, you can even have force to use it to correct the situation, but don't be attached to it. Don't um phrase people as certain kind or generalize,
Yeah.
people. Don't generalize. If I learned something really big in my university, is never generalize. It's never true. So I'm in peace right now. I'm just like I brought some unconsciousness to this episode, which I don't like want so much, because I want people to come from this episode more aware, more peaceful, more kind to each other, more kind to themselves,
Okay.
and these stories just divide us, you got vaccinated, you didn't, why did you, all this kind of stuff just separate us, when we really actually do believe that we're all one, like there is something connecting us all, you know